Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Meta Cafe. Grab your cup of coffee or your tea, sit back and relax, and let's chat about what is happening up in the sky above. And happy Friday, everybody. It's going to be the weekend. We're excited about that in our part of the world. It is Seahawks opener game. As many of you know, I am a huge football fan. And on Fridays, we dress up in our Seahawks finery in celebration of the team and in support of the team. And so here we are. We finally arrived at that point of the year where we begin to get into the fall fun, right? Football and chilies and soups and stews and oh, it's my favorite time of year, right? Pumpkins, and I have my little pumpkin spice candles over here that I'm going to start burning any day now, just waiting for the right moment. So I'm really excited. I love the fall. And you guys, some of you who are checking in fairly early here, I love that. Good morning, Colleen, and good morning, Debbie Hedden and Debbie Tippett-Tumiel, Asa, Linda Dennis. Would you, one of you, some of you, please check in with me very quickly and make sure you can hear me. I'm a little disturbed this morning because there's going to be work going on right in front of my house. I don't have any control over that, and so I don't know when it's going to start, so I have to wear these so that I can actually hear, and hopefully you all won't hear all the noise in the background. So please, somebody check in with me and let me know if you can hear me okay. Thanks, Asa. Good morning, Debbie, Hedden, and Mimi. Nice to see you this morning. Debbie says, go Pats. So Debbie's a Patriots fan. I'm a Seahawks fan. And the only time we have a problem is when Seahawks and the Patriots play together, and that doesn't happen all that often. So, so I root for the Patriots for her, and she roots for the Seahawks for me. I know you do, Debbie, because unless they're playing your team, why not, right? So, okay, Mimi says I can hear you just fine. Awesome. Thank you so much for letting me know that, Mimi. It's always disturbing when you have to change over to a different microphone or a different system partway through your morning. And yeah. And anyway, so I'm really excited to be here this morning. I have a lot to tell you about. In fact, I was, scribbling across my page. You can see all the notes there. And I had thought I might be able to get to some astrology readings this morning, and likely I will not. There were two people that reached out to me that would like readings, and unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get to that today. But I will do my best to get back to you personally and let you know what I see. Just something quick and easy that I might see in your chart for you. So look for an email for me from me later on today. So today, the moon is in Sagittarius. It is there for the whole of the day, but there's always the but, right? We're going into a void of course moon that begins at 9:04 a.m. Pacific time, noon 04 for you all on the East Coast, and lasts literally until 3:38 tomorrow morning, 6:38 tomorrow morning for you all in the East. So we have a very long void of course moon. So again, we come to this sort of stop and go motion, right? Putting the foot on the brake and the gas at the same time as the moon finishes its transit in Sagittarius and moves on early in the morning tomorrow into Capricorn energy. But before the moon does that, today we have a conjunction to Jupiter and a square to Mercury, Neptune, and Venus. So there is a high energy going on in the day. The moon, when it conjuncts with Jupiter, makes everything bigger. It magnifies our magnanimity. It magnifies our optimism. It makes everything seem better and bigger and brighter. So when the moon and Jupiter join up together, we have to be careful that we don't get somehow blinded by the optimism, blinded by all the sparklies, and go overboard in anything. So no overeating, over drinking, over committing, overspending. You should be pretty familiar with this by now. Whenever that happens, whenever Sagittarius moon and Jupiter joined together, we have to be very proportional in everything that we do. Now, the fact that the moon is squaring Mercury, Neptune, and Venus today adds a little bit of spice to the day. None of those make me, wave a red flag and say, oh my gosh, watch out, right? Except for that when the moon in Sagittarius squares Mercury, there's a possibility that we are either engaging in blunt talk or others are engaged in that toward us, directed toward us. So we want to watch today what our words are. We want to be as empowering as we can with our words, because Sagittarius, sometimes they get really blunt and they call it like it is. They call a spade, and they're not going to pull many punches. That's the nature of the sign of Sagittarius, is truth. Sometimes, though, they just don't know how to butter that truth up a little bit. So here today we have the planet of communication, Mercury, in a square or a challenge by the moon, and which is in Sagittarius, the blunt talking sign. So you can kind of get a view here of what's possible. So instead of, blurting things today, really be aware of what it is that you might want to be saying. If somebody else out there does that to you, forgive them, right? They know not what they say. They know not what influence they are under, and likely are, falling into the trap of the energy that's here in the negative potential of it today. The positive potential, the high-end potential, is that you could speak truth powerfully and in a very positive way, and in a way that it frees and empowers people to be their true and authentic selves. But likely some people aren't going to get that memo, and they will be speaking a little bit differently to people today. The square to Neptune, that brings us into our intuitive selves. It brings us into our more spiritual self, but unfortunately it does act as sort of a web in front of us where we just don't see clearly. A fog perhaps comes down over your mind or over your emotions, and you're not sure why you're feeling what you're feeling, but this too shall pass. And don't take anything very seriously today. Any emotional feeling that you have will probably just be a part of the regular emotional wave, and it doesn't mean that your life is over. It doesn't mean that things aren't, going to be better. It just means that for the short term, that there is an emotional thing going through the atmosphere. There's also a square to Venus today. That, in fact, is the last aspect that the moon is going to engage with before it turns into void. So we're all talking about, this is all crammed into the next hour, right? All of these transits are all crammed within this next hour, with the final one being the square to Venus. Now, the moon and Venus together, they're usually not a negative pair, even if it is a square and it is challenged. We may be challenged in a way to express ourselves, express love, or the high side of those values and Venus issues to our loved ones today. We may, stumble a bit in the emotional expression, but typically we're able to move through this particular transit very easily, and it's finally one that we're left with that isn't involving Pluto, so we're not stuck in a long-term emotional funk or in a power struggle. Today we are going to have a long-term love fest potentially between the soul and the planet Venus. Now, also bigger things going on, right? Without, so far is just the moon, right? You thought that was the whole day, right? Nope. There are other things going on today. I'm going to take a quick look out here and see if people have questions. Asa can hear me. Colleen, good morning. Everybody's just checking in so far, so good. Love it, love it. Colleen, no noise. These are noise canceling headphones, so I like that. But right now, there's not a lot of noise. Of course, just before I went on live, they were sawing with a table saw or something. So I was like, ah. And then I thought the next step would be they'd be on my front porch finishing up the last of the deck, but so far not yet. So we're okay though. Debbie says, go Seahawks. Yay. Thank you, Debbie. Rebecca, good morning. And Debbie says she just bought 2 more Oracle decks. Oh my goodness. Which ones? I got to know. Tell me. Rebecca, good morning to you. Tom joining us this morning. Debbie Tibbetts-Tumiel says, and someone spoke to me that made no sense at all, so I answered them back sweetly with the truth. I love it. Good morning, Suzanne Fulmer. Good to see you too. Okay, so let's go on to what is going on for the rest of the day. The biggest news of the day is Mercury, the planet of the mind and communication, coming into a square with Jupiter, and at the same time, the sun in a trine to Saturn. So I'm kind of lumping these two together because I think these, even though they're square, one is a square and the other one, as the trines, they tend to work well together to help us focus on what is most important to us in a way that gives us access to productivity, right? Focusing on something like I was able this morning to tune into exactly what I was going to need, albeit I almost didn't make it here at 8 a.m. because I was in the midst of doing a million other things. But it is easier today, it seems, to access that concentration and focus, and to be able to use concentration and focus in a way that makes the day productive. And that's a great thing, even in the midst of a void of course moon, right? So sometimes the void of course is telling us one thing, but there are other transits that empower us to stick with something, to be productive, and to do something. Now, does that mean I would say go out and start something new today? No, because the void of course moon really kind of trumps that for us. It makes us have to slow things down and not go out and just, start a whole bunch of new things. But what we are in the midst of working on, we have access to be able to get that done. And also, there's another aspect going on today with Venus as she trines the planet Pluto. And this gives us access to deep emotional connections with one another. So if you're working in a group of people today, or you have family gathered around you today, you're likely going to be able to enjoy that type of connection where you feel good with one another, you're supportive of one another. And Venus and Pluto here give us access to patience. How often do you hear me say that we have access to patience? Not all that often, right? Usually I'm telling you be patient because there's Mars or somebody that's driving us to push the river. Today we have access to patience, the patience that it takes to see a project through to its completion, the patience to wait until all signs are clear for us to take action. So patience is there and available for us today in a way that likely we haven't had in a while. At least I haven't felt patient in a while. So today I do sort of feel like I have that sort of patience. Um, Maybe it's not even patience that I'm feeling, but it's that commitment that I feel today. So we'll see what that means for the rest of you. I always enjoy hearing everybody else's experiences. So please share, your experiences, because these energies were building yesterday. So it's not in a vacuum like this just happens right now today. It's built up to an exact point today. But yesterday we would have been feeling this coming on as well. Tom, DTT, that's crazy fab hat. Oh, I think he must be looking at your picture of your Kentucky Derby hat, Debbie, which I also thought was fab. It looks awesome. And another void today. Yes, Tom, happens every other day, every 2 days or so. It usually happens it always happens when the moon is getting ready to change signs. So sometimes that happens earlier before it changes signs, and sometimes it happens maybe just a few minutes. We've seen void of course moons that lasted 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So it just depends on what sign it is and where all of the other planets are located as to how long that void is going to take. And Lynn, good morning to you. Natasha, good morning. She says, this sounds like a great day for kindergarten to start in our school district. LOL. Oh, well. Yeah, exactly. Good morning, Ashley. I was just thinking about you this morning, Ashley. So wondering how your life is going and hoping that things are moving in the right direction for you. So let's move on over. Debbie, I do want to know what the other two decks are, so maybe you can enlighten all of us. In fact, that's funny. I was going to share a deck with you today that my friend Michelle, remember Michelle, she's doing really well after her brain surgery, and she has a deck by a local artist named Jody Bergsma, and it is beautiful animal deck. And I was thinking of maybe getting that deck and using it as well with my Colette Baron Reed decks. So Debbie, share with us what new decks you got. While I go into Saturday and tell you all about the first day of the weekend, by the time you wake up in the morning, the moon will be in very serious business-oriented Capricorn. And Capricorn, the Capricorn moon, will be in a trine to Uranus. So expect surprises tomorrow. Maybe company coming that you didn't expect. Maybe, some opportunity that comes up that you didn't expect. Because when the moon is in a trine to Uranus, what we can expect is change, surprises, unexpectedness, something maybe unique and genius that comes up to us. So be prepared for that tomorrow. Usually not necessarily a bad surprise. I know everybody always worries when I say that, expect the unexpected, but it could be good things too. It doesn't always have to mean something that you didn't want as a surprise, but there's always that possibility. As well, tomorrow, Mercury comes into opposition with Neptune. Yeah. So while the moon in Capricorn wants to be business oriented and, get to the heart of things and do things right, Mercury, who rules our mind and our communication, in an opposition to Neptune, fuzzes everything over. It makes it very difficult to get a clear mind and or to speak clearly. So tomorrow our minds are fuzzy, our communication is fuzzy, so it is something where we are not likely going to be able to work in the same way tomorrow as we usually do. And that means be imaginative tomorrow. Use the energy of the opposition to lean into what's creative and imaginational. Use the things that are more unrealistic. You never hear me say that either. This is because you may have unrealistic expectations or be trying to tap into doing things that are unrealistic. Take that energy of that unrealism and put it into imagination and dream a dream, right? Use that energy to dream the dream. Now, tomorrow also, Venus comes into a challenging minor square to the planet Uranus. So here we have to watch out for acting on a whim, right? For deciding I need to have that $500 object, and I buy it, and then I find out I really forgot to pay my insurance bill and it's come due too, right? So financially, be careful tomorrow. Be careful in your relationships tomorrow. Don't just on a whim, throw it all to the wind, and don't on a whim also get involved with someone that you otherwise wouldn't have. Be very careful tomorrow. However, what we can use this energy for tomorrow is seeing things differently, right? We can see things differently. Maybe beauty in the eye of the beholder becomes unusual beauty in the eye of the beholder, right? There's something unpredictable and unusual and inventive and unique, eccentric. I can use a whole lot of different words here, but we see things completely differently tomorrow, or we have the ability to do that. We might be attracted to things that are different, the unusual or the unique or eccentric. Just don't act out on a whim with anything that you see that's unusual, right? So careful tomorrow, but not necessarily a bad day, just one in which Uranus is a little bit more powerful than usual, both connected to Venus and to the moon, but then also Mercury opposing Neptune, just making things a little bit unclear. I kind of feel like some of you that are prone to headaches may have that issue coming up tomorrow, that fuzzy feeling in your head. So maybe tonight isn't a good night to go to the bar and do a lot of drinking or to imbibe in anything overly much, because that may really affect your mind tomorrow. So if you're going to go out partying tonight, make it an easy party. 1 glass of wine, 2 glasses of wine, not the whole bottle. Just be careful out there. All right, Sunday. So on Sunday, we have a highly energetic day, and that's because, right, the moon is in Capricorn. And what does that mean, right? We've got Saturn, we've got the south node, and we have Pluto in Capricorn, and the moon is going to bump into them as we move through the day on Sunday and even into Monday. On Monday, or Sunday, excuse me, the moon in Capricorn will conjunct Saturn. And we know from experience that that takes us into a bit of a lull in our emotions. We may even feel down or depressed or more tired than usual, lethargic. If that's the case, don't worry about it. It will fade into the background as the moon goes on to trine Mars, the sun, sextile Neptune, trine Mercury, and conjunct Pluto. So there's a whole host of things going on Sunday, energies that are just skipping and hopping along. So if you do have that low feeling, it won't last, because after that, the moon in Capricorn again trines the sun and then Mercury, and that makes for an ease and flow of that energy again. We're back to work. We're back to seeing things in a very plain and logical oriented way, in a grounded, down to earth sort of way. And then the next connection is the moon with Pluto. That could be another bump in our emotional connection. So tomorrow or Sunday, don't overdo anything, and don't overestimate your ability to get anything done. Don't bite off more than you can chew, I guess, is the other thing that I could say here, because if you do, it can play into that feeling of being down or low. So maybe even on Saturday, watch what you commit yourself to for Sunday, right? Because it's possible that the more exuberant energies of Saturday cause you to commit to something for Sunday, and when the energies dive in or down a little bit, then you're committed to something that you no longer really want to do. Later in the day on Sunday, however, we become very good at doing work again, focusing on work, on health, on practical matters, the cleaning out of the closets, if you will, very Virgo energy that we have access to, earth energy, stabilizing energy. If something that upset your foundation earlier in the week, or even earlier in the weekend has happened, then on Sunday later in the day you'll be able to find ways to stabilize that, and to maybe build something that's stronger. So the energy early in the day Sunday, a little wonky, a little emotional, a little slow, and later in the day picks up. So a slow start to Sunday, but a good finish to Sunday is how I would put that. All right, let's see. How's everybody doing out there? Any questions going on? Debbie says, Oracle of the Mermaids by Lucy Cavendish. And yesterday in a crystal shop in Atlanta, Botanical Inspirations by Lynn Arajo. Ah, yeah. Those sound like fun. You'll have to share us readings from those decks when you get them, or when you have an opportunity. Elisa, good morning. Debbie says, oh yes, and I love the mermaid one so much, I ordered them to have the deck I can actually hold. Oh, because that's why you meant it was on the phone. So you have the deck when you can access it on your phone, but now you've also purchased the deck. Very good. Very good. I love Oracle card decks. I have a box of them in my bedroom. There's probably, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe 20. I don't know, I've never really counted, but there's a lot of them in there, and my two favorites right now are out here with me, and they're the ones I love to use on a consistent basis. But I did think this morning that it might be nice to bring in an angel deck, because I use the wisdom of the oracle and the spirit animals, but somehow angels were calling this morning, and I have an older Doreen Virtue angel deck. But I don't have anything. I don't know even if Colette Baron Reed does an angel deck, but if she does, I would love to find that one and play with angels for a while. Mermaids are fun too, though. That should be fun. All right, so it's time for people to ask me questions out there about the weekend. I'm going to switch right now and talk about the Pleiadian-Earth energy, and then I will attempt to do some card readings, or maybe even, it looks like I managed to get out a lot of information in a very little time, so maybe I will have time to do a couple of charts. So let's look at Friday, 2 days, energy through the Pleiadian-Earth energy calendar. Today we are at 10, devoting energy. Devoting energy is Ok in Mayan, which means dog. It is a very loyal and community-oriented energy that we've entered into here on the earth today. The 10, the universal energy of the day, is about manifesting. And here's a warning couched within that to make sure that what your mind is focused on is, or your thoughts are focused on, is what it is that you truly want. Because what you're focusing on is what has a huge, quick ability to manifest today. So focus on what you desire and what you want, or on being open to receiving, but do not focus on what you don't have or focus on the negative, because if you do, that gets bigger today as well. So huge day today. I think it's a really good Friday. Tomorrow it feels so fun. It is 11 illuminating tomorrow. Illuminating Ishwen in Mayan, which is monkey, and monkey energy is kind of fun, humorous, it's light energy, literally illuminating, because the 11 is also the number of illumination or illuminating energy. So we have light tomorrow. I love that, don't you? Light. Like, it is a good day tomorrow. A good day in terms of being illuminated, seeing the light, having a spotlight shined into a part of your life maybe where you've been blind or in the dark. And in that, we have the ability to engage it with lightness and humor, staying out of the negative as much as we can. Sunday, the energy shifts over to a little bit more serious energy, as the other stars also tell us about today, or for that day. 12, choosing. The number 12 is the number of understanding. And understanding means that we get to, maybe tap into some kind of knowingness that we have not had access to before. Maybe it's that we understand one another better, or we see ourselves in the bigger picture in a better way, our lives, our roles in this life. And the earth energy for that day is choosing energy. And it's the energy in the Mayan calendar that was called Ebb. And Ebb represented the road, and the road that we travel. So it reminds me, this kind of energy reminds me of, we come to a crossroads and we choose which road we go down. Right? We're choosing all the time how we're going to go down the road, what road we're going to go down, how we're going to feel while we're on that road. We don't necessarily get to control who we meet along the way. That's kind of, the universe bringing us the right experiences. But on Sunday, we get an idea of what it's going to take to be on the road of your life. In that, we also have collective healing and nurturing energy that's potential for that day as well. I see that as likely something that plays into the later energy in the day with work, health, practicality, and stabilizing your foundation energy, being able to heal and nurture whatever it is that you've planted, right, that you've wanted to get into as far as your life is concerned. Building a solid foundation, right? That seems very foundational. Oh gosh, people jumping in here. Tom says, so Saturday is a do nothing, be wary day. Saturday is a productive day, but what you want to watch out for on Saturday is that square, or the conjunction to Jupiter, and the squares to Mercury, Neptune, and to Venus. So, oh wait, Saturday, sorry, wrong day, down here, Saturday, unexpectedness on Saturday, right, unexpectedness, because the moon in Capricorn trines Uranus, and Venus is in a minor square to Uranus, and Mercury opposes Neptune that day. So our mind and our communications are not clear, but the interesting thing about it is that Saturday also has the illuminating energy. So using your imagination, not logic, right? That's what's favored for Saturday. Debbie, no Sunday. Mimi says, thinking about Saturday, could be a good day for the one-day event in Townsend, as it sounds like folks might loosen their wallets a wee bit for nice sales, right? And because isn't this about art, right? This is about a gallery. I think it is what you're talking about, like art and, all of the different crafts and things like that, like a arts and crafts festival. And on that day, it's possible that people would see something and on a whim purchase it. So there is that potential. It could be a really good day for things that are involved with beautifying, because Venus's involvement with Uranus. They may suddenly see that they absolutely cannot live without that statue in their house, or that scarf around their neck, or whatever it is that's going on there. So yeah, I think tomorrow would be a great day for that. Debbie Tibbetts Tumiel says Colette recommends Angel Cards by Kyle Gray. He's Scottish and that's all he does. I'm going to write that name down. Kyle Gray. Or is it Kylie? Kyle, either way, I've got the spelling. Okay. And so what's funny is that I just finished those 2 books on Audible. The, Fuck Yourself, Don't Fuck Yourself, or with the Fuck Yourself book, whatever that was called, and the second one. And that Scottish accent, oh my gosh, you just tune into it. It draws you in. So I would imagine these cards are drawing you in. Mimi says, yes, the gallery is having an event at the local winery. Awesome day for it, right? Just don't. What I would guess is that people may imbibe a little too much in the wine and then loosen up their pocketbooks and buy the art. I love that. That's pretty funny. But as a warning for the people who are listening, if you're one of those people that happens to be out at an art gallery or in a museum or at the zoo or at a concert, and you're really tempted to spend the money, think twice. Is it something that you really, really want? And if you do, buy it. There's nothing saying that anything you buy tomorrow is going to blow up on you. It just says that we may buy things on a whim and then later look at it and go, what was I thinking? Right? What was I thinking? So, but if it triggers your imagination, if it makes you feel good, then definitely do it. That's all I could say about that. Kyle is a guy. Okay, great. Thanks, Jan. And I may just put his name into the Google search engine here and see what that deck looks like. I wish I could show you my screen on this one. I cannot do that here. I don't think. I mean, I might have to figure out if I can do that some way, because when I was using BeLive, I could share my screen if I had a certain setting that I was using. And this is a young guy, Kyle Gray, best-selling author and angel expert. And he has a weekly angel message. And his deck is beautiful. Green Terra is the picture I see on the site. And he's on YouTube, Facebook. Lovely. So he's worth checking out. Thank you, Debbie, for bringing up that name, Kyle Gray. So we may have to maybe use one of his decks or his deck of cards here soon. Okay, so Debbie says, yes, okay, good deal. So that is it that I have for the astrology of the day. I'm going to now take up, if people want card readings, I've got 2 decks here that I can use for that. I'm also going to take a look at a chart for someone who requested one last week. Since I have time, I'm going to do that. And this is for you, Marissa Moss Staton. And I'm going to get that up here on I think I have you under M. So if you all see me looking away for a moment, it's because I am looking at my astrology program to see what I got here. And then someone yesterday reached out new to me, and I will attempt to get that entered in for that person. Marissa, there you are. I can hear, through my headset, I can hear my cat snoring. That's so funny that I can hear that, because most of the other things I can't hear out there. So Marissa, while I wait for your chart to come up, I'm assuming that maybe there is a specific area of your life that you were looking at or interested in discovering about. But since I don't recall what that was, or I'm not sure you even mentioned what that is, I'm going to take a look at your area of the chart where Virgo is and see where these planets had been congregated and where they're moving you to. And anybody else disturbed with Astro lately because it takes so long to load up anything? It drives me crazy. Like I'm sitting here and it just says connecting, connecting. Am I not on air anymore? Check, yeah, so something's wrong with the site. It took too long to respond. So I may not even be able to do charts with that program, and I don't have my other one loaded up yet. Let's see what I can do here. And Go over here. Do you guys still see me? Am I still here? I hope so. Because I don't know. Did I lose internet? Nope. I'm still live. Okay, good. So anyway, let's do some cards while I'm waiting for that site to get a grip. Debbie Tibbetts and Asa. Mimi would like an animal deck. And Jan, okay, I'm going to have to scroll back here. Lynn, Kyle Gray, The Keepers of the Light is a beautiful deck with angels and archangels. Ooh, I like that. So I'm going to check him out after the show this morning. Rebecca, yes, that would be awesome. Debbie, yes, he has more than one deck. Jan, yes, please, your choice. Okay, so Jan, you were first to chime in. So I'm going to start writing names here because otherwise I'll lose somebody. So I have Jan, and then I have Mimi, who wants animals. And then I have Debbie. And then I have Asa. And Asa would like a card, which, okay, Camille, it's going to be a great weekend vibe. Hi, thanks so much. You're welcome, sweetie. Alisa. And okay, good. I'm so glad. It was so weird because that site always loads, but I'd noticed lately it's being really slow. It still can't be reached. So maybe they're doing some work in the back end. I don't know, but for right now, I can't do readings. So anybody else? Okay, Tom wants, I don't have angels. Animal. Okay, good. All right, so let's start with Jan. And Jan, I have the Wisdom of the Oracle out for you. Let's see what cards we come up with. And I don't know if you have a specific thing that you're focusing on or that you want to focus on, Jan, but if you do, let me know. And I'm closing out some windows here because it's making noise in the background for me. Okay, so here we go. It's still making noise. What in the heck? All right, Jan, you get building blocks. It is card number 28. And we've had this card quite a bit over the last couple of months. Card 28, and if you saw it, it was upside down, which means it's in protection. So let's see what that means when it's in protection. 28. I always think of Saturn when I see this card. Building blocks. The essential meaning for you, Jan, is strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress. And the message says, now is the time to address the cracks in the foundations of your life. Perhaps your values have changed and it is time to strengthen your convictions and let go of the things that no longer serve the vision you have for your life. Or perhaps you chose to ignore the signs that a situation or agreement you have entered into is not right for you. Remove the rotten pieces and reinforce your core moral strength and integrity. Now is the time for rigorous honesty, for you are called to renovate and upgrade your consciousness. You will be so happy when you do. Spirit has a spectacular blueprint for your life, far beyond your imagination. Don't be afraid to replace what's not solid. I love that card. That's great, great, great. So that is the card 28, which is a 10, which is a 1. It implies a new beginning, but in protection. So that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. And Mimi, you were next, and you were looking at an animal reading, animal card reading. So let's see what comes up for you. Are you displaying your goods at this gallery thing too, Mimi? If so, it might be a great day for you. So much good Virgo energy going on here. And you get Frog Spirit. I love Frog. Frog, beautiful card, beautiful spirit animal. It's also 28, which is a 10, which is a 1. And it says, clear out the clutter, and it was upside down. So originally he was sitting in, he was swimming up and not down. So let's see what Frog Spirit is, card 28. I see a theme here, 28, new beginnings for some things here. Okay, so Frog Spirit says, clear out the clutter. What's weighing you down? Is it time for a spiritual and psychic cleansing? Are you overdue for letting go of the voices that surround you? They may have started to get into your head, these voices that bog you down and keep you from leaping forward into a better situation. Let others croak and create their dramas while you make space for yourself and for hearing your own thoughts as they arise. Declutter your schedule and stop trying to do it all and then some. Let others manage their own baggage rather than allowing it to be dumped on you, for your lily pad needs to be clear of others' clutter. Frog spirit may also come bearing a message about your physical space. Do you hold on to things because you are afraid of losing your energetic connection to the past, to people who are no longer in your life, or to goals you never pursued? Or could you have these items around because you could feel guilty if you get rid of them? Are your storage and living spaces stuffed with reminders of what you are not, when they should be holding only objects that reflect who you are and aspire to be? If something is no longer making you feel joyful, empowered, and excited, Frog Spirit is telling you to let it go and free yourself to leap forward into something new, trusting you will always have what you need. That's a powerful card too. And so Virgo in its ability to clean our spaces. Um, so there we go. And Debbie, I got both Animal and Woto from Debbie in Florida. So Woto, Wisdom of the Oracle, you should treat yourself. They are awesome. Nice. Okay, so uh, Debbie Tibbetts, Tumiel, I'm going to, I don't know why, but I'm feeling Animal for you today. I don't know if you chose. I don't see where you chose. Okay, so she just says me, please. So I'm going to do Animal for you, Debbie. All right. And usually she lets me choose. And I don't think I usually pick an animal card for you. But they seem to want to be mixed up. So hold on here. Canary. Upside down. Canary. Canary is card number 12, a 3, and it says sing your own song, but it was in reverse. So let's see what that means. Canary in reverse. Pretty little card. The number 12 is a 3, which is highly creative energy. And it says, are you suppressing your true voice, perhaps trying to sing the song you think people want to hear instead of your own? You create a cage around your life when you express only what you think will help you fit in and get what you think you want. Are you hiding the real you, telling a safe story about yourself to others because you are afraid they will think you are too different if they knew the truth? Canary Spirit comes to help you express yourself in a more honest and authentic way. Yes, not everyone will agree with you. In fact, not everyone will want to hear your originality and accept your uniqueness. You must not give this a single care. There will be plenty of people, opportunities, and wonderful new experiences that arrive as if by magic once you open your own cage door and fly free. Canary Spirit is cheering for you and wants you to know you are safe and loved. Find your voice and have courage to spread your wings and sing out loud. The world needs your true song. I love that one, Debbie. Sing your song, girl. And start channeling. That was just a little side note. And Asa, you are next, my friend. Um, and I thought I said animal. Yeah. Okay, good. So Asa, this one is for you. An animal deck, animal card. Oh, I just saw my dragonfly. Of course, now I'm wearing these headsets and they didn't do the work yet. Oh, dear spirit. And dear spirit says, bring a gentle touch. And it is card number 18, which is a 9. Isn't she beautiful? I got to tell you guys, there was a big controversy yesterday here about deer, and I almost got drawn into a crazy confrontation with people because some people are so I don't know what to say. But this man sent out an email to the list of people that live here on this island and said, what can we do about the deer? They're everywhere. They're eating my plants, and they get into my favorite plants, and will the county do anything? Will the city do anything? What can we do about it? I think we should just all join hands and walk the length of the island and shove them off out into the ocean. Are you bleeping kidding me? Are you really serious? You want to do that? So I said to him, put a fence around your plants. Put chicken wire around them so they can't get to them. Don't plant things that you know that the deer like, because we have a community garden here on the island. The deer don't get into that. Why? Because they knew that these would be things deers might like, and so they fenced it around. I said, and then I said, I don't understand why people move to the wild, to rural areas, to the wooded areas, and then expect the wildlife to conform to your idea of what it is you want to live in, because the wildlife was here first. Oh man, it was terrible. It just drives me crazy, these people. Dear, opportunity allied with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity, luck, and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. This is for you, Asa. You've stepped into alignment with the greater good, where your dreams and the collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you could never have planned all by yourself. Keep in mind that you are a channel for providence right now, as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the whole world. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune. Everything you bring into being now will have a wondrous legacy for others in the future. Your service to the world is being supported at this time. Expect the unexpected and smile, for Spirit loves you very much. Yes, that's a great card. That's Deer. And she's just a beauty. Okay. Next would be Elisa. And Elisa, did you tell me what deck you wanted? She would like an animal card too. Thank you for telling me. And after Elisa, I have Tom. Just to let everybody know. Good morning, Christine. It's great to see you out there. And you need something called deer fencing. Yep. So, for example, I took pictures the other day of a deer wandering here through my yard. And my neighbor back there, she has, up there, she has blueberries. And she has them, fenced in. And the deer couldn't get to it. And it's, it doesn't do anything to the plant except protect it from the deer. And the deer tried. She was trying to get her nose in there, but she couldn't get to those blueberries. So I have a couple of cards that fell out here for you, Elisa. One is Chameleon Spirit in upside down mode, and the other one is Grasshopper Spirit in right side up mode. So Chameleon says, act as if, and it's card number 14, which is a 5. Isn't that a beautiful card? But it was in upside down protection. And Grasshopper says, take a leap of faith. And that is card number 30, which, as it turns out, is also a 3. So let's see what these cards mean for you. All right, 14, which says, act as if, like pretend, right? And it says, where are you being dishonest with yourself or others? If you're unhappy in any area of your life, look for signs of denial. This can also pertain to others being misleading or withholding or acting from hidden agendas. Now is the time to say no to dishonesty in all forms. Ask for the truth. Even if you don't like what you hear, acknowledging it will be key to a beautiful new future where you no longer labor under the heavy burdens that deceit and denial impose upon you. Set yourself free. Nothing less than truth is required now. And then the card number 30, Grasshopper, 30, which was right side up. And Can I have a redo here? Because I just read you the wrong card. I did not read you Chameleon Spirit, Elisa. I read you the Wisdom of the Oracle card number 14. This is the Chameleon card number 14 before we go to Grasshopper. I picked up the wrong book, but maybe that message was needed because I can't imagine why I would have picked that book up and read that card if not for the message that was being given to you. So Chameleon Spirit says, act as if. Being sensitive and having empathy for others can become a heavy burden if you don't practice self-care. Could it be you're feeling stressed because you've tuned in to challenging emotions that aren't even yours? Chameleon's spirit does not want you to adapt to these conditions by withdrawing or distracting yourself, hoping the feelings will just go away, or attempting to rescue another who may be having a pity party. You can be swallowed up trying to manage it all. It is time to figure out where you end and the rest of the world begins. Not all conditions are yours to match. You need to distinguish your own color from the rest of the world right now and take time out to soothe your sensitive soul. Choose some activities that will restore your sense of being grounded and avoid people who revel in drama. Take a break from social media too. Self-care and a timeout is the answer to this temporary dilemma. And now I will go to card 30, Grasshopper Spirit. And here we go. Grasshopper says, take a leap of faith now. Right now, you are poised to jump up into the next level of your life and move forward into something even better than you could have ever imagined. When Grasshopper Spirit appears, it is a fortuitous time to take a leap into the unknown, for Grasshopper Spirit represents the innovative spirit that says, why not? And has faith in the powers of co-creation. You are being called to trust that this is the right time to go with that idea, relationship, or situation. Take risks, for abundance in all form will show up for you. Wondrous things await when Grasshopper Spirit appears. You are not going to go backward, so listen to your intuition rather than your fearful ego that resists any change and clings worriedly to what was. Luck is on your side. Jump up and forward with confidence, for Spirit has so much in store for you if you only take that leap. I think those are pretty awesome. And Tom says, needs something. Oh, okay, Tom, I'm going to do an animal card for you. Asa needed to hear that. I love it. Animal, Christine. Okay, Christine, I think, yeah, I have some time. I'm going to do one more here for Christine, who wants an animal. And Elisa, I love it too. It's so funny. I picked up the wrong book, but there must be something in that message. So there you go, right? Okay, Tom, animal card for you. And let's see what the animals have to say. I feel like Dr. Dolittle sometimes, right? Let's talk to the animals. Ooh, Tom, Coyote Spirit. Trust in divine detours. And look at this, it's right side up, and she's a beauty. Or he, probably a she. Coyote Spirit says, trust in divine detours. It is card number 16, which is the 7. Very spiritual. Let's pick up the right book this time and read card 16 for Tom. It's good to see you out there, Tom. Okay, so it says, do you find that you are being led on a strange detour in your life right now? Does it seem that what appears to be the next right action and the right choice, best situation, or fabulous relationship unexpectedly turns into the opposite or just disappears into thin air as if you've been tricked? Coyote Spirit's trickster energy is designed to bring you into situations to teach you lessons you have forgotten to learn. Perhaps you need a taste of failure before you experience success, a need to feel disappointment before you can truly appreciate the joy, love, and prosperity that is coming up for you. Perhaps you are revisiting a pattern you forgot wasn't in alignment with the life you are intending to co-create. Being reminded that gratitude, not complacency, will keep you awake and aware of all that is available to you in this moment. Coyote Spirit reminds you to laugh about the unexpected twists, to develop humility and gratitude while releasing your attachments to the form of your desires. Even when you suddenly find yourself on a detour, wondering when you will get back on track to manifesting what you desire, remember that Spirit has a plan and wants the best for you. Trust in divine order now. Coyote Spirit is a divine helper. No matter what seems to go astray, things are exactly as they are supposed to be. I think that's a profound message for you, Tom, for your life at this moment. And I got to tell you, Tom, we're going to talk later today, hopefully, but yesterday or day before, I happened to be on Facebook and I saw a comment that somebody made about the photographs that you put that you post on Facebook, and I had a moment's thought about what a great project that would be for you in somehow putting together a picture book or a picture blog, a travel blog of the pictures that you have, because they're so beautiful. You always do tend to just grab the light in the right way or something. Something very creative and magical happens in those pictures. Okay, now, Christine, you are next, and she wants an animal card too. So this will be the last one I can do this morning. And, ooh, okay. So what pops out for you? Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Christine, Coyote jumps out for you here this morning, as well as Rabbit. So we have Rabbit Spirit. She's upside down. She's card number 49, which is a 13, which is a 4. So we've got that. And then Coyote was upright, just like for Tom. Card number 16 that says trust in divine detours. So Christine, I'm going to go ahead and read that card again, just because, right? It's yours now, and maybe you'll hear what you need to hear out of it. Okay, trust in divine detours. The message says, do you find that you are being led on a strange detour in your life right now? Does it seem that what appears to be the next right action and the right choice, best situation, or fabulous relationship unexpectedly turns into the opposite, or just disappears into thin air as if you've been tricked? Coyote Spirit's trickster energy is designed to bring you into situations to teach you lessons you have forgotten to learn. Perhaps you need a taste of failure before you experience success, a need to feel disappointment before you can truly appreciate the joy, love, and prosperity that is coming up for you. Perhaps you are revisiting a pattern you forgot wasn't in alignment with the life you are intending to co-create. Being reminded that gratitude, not complacency, will keep you awake and aware of all that is available to you in the moment. Coyote Spirit reminds you to laugh about the unexpected twists, to develop humility and gratitude while releasing your attachments to the form of your desires. Even when you suddenly find yourself on a detour, wondering when you will get back on track to manifesting what you desire, remember that Spirit has a plan and wants the best for you. Trust in divine order now. Coyote Spirit is a divine helper. No matter what seems to go astray, things are exactly as they are supposed to be. Okay, that's awesome. Now, Rabbit Spirit, I want you to see her. She's just beautiful. This little rabbit, little bunny. Right, Rabbit Spirit says, now is a lucky time. This is the third one of you this morning that has luck on your side. Really, really like that. So card 49, let me move back to the back of the book here. And she was upside down in protection. And it says, vulnerability is required of you now, even if you don't feel safe. Act as if you trust that you will be okay, and soon you will see that you are okay. To create is to take risks. So at this fortunate, fertile time, banish your fears and recognize the real security is in immersing yourself in the process of co-creation. It's okay to admit that you really don't know how to deal with whatever's in front of you. This is where curiosity and not knowing can be a wonderful state of mind. Be playful now, admitting you are at the beginning of something. Come out to frolic in the sun's nurturing light, because it is time to birth something new. Great cards. Great cards. That's interesting that back to back we got Coyote, but I love the message, and maybe there's something for all of us to hear from that, since it was a double message. So that is it for me. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all Monday morning when we go into the energy of the week. We'll be moving into the full moon energy as we move into next week. So we'll have lots to talk about, I'm sure. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Go Hawks. Bye for now.